What is up, everyone? This is Devin with Amateur Life, my podcast here. We're going to separate our golf talk because we're switching over our sports talk onto Thursdays. And so, golf talk, since they only start Thursday mornings, we're going to try to do our golf talk on Wednesdays so that way we can get our picks in. So that way, if anyone follows along, which we highly do not recommend because we have done shitty lately, you can follow along with our picks and see how we do compared to how you do. Well, with me on the line is Cavi, who's normally in. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
All right. Hey, so we're pulled up last week's was a team event, the Zurich Classic. I gotta be honest. After watching some of those rounds, I kind of don't care for team events. I don't know how you feel about them.
I love team events, but that one, not. I mean, it's cool for something different, but it's not that entertaining.
Yeah, like I just was bored watching it. Maybe because what is it, Sheffley and Cantley won it from day one on. They never lost. So
Yeah, if it was more of like the top 20 players are all playing together against each other, I think it'd be a lot more entertaining. But it's not. It's a lot of kind of nobody you really heard of, a couple powerhouse teams, and they kind of normally run away with it. Like kind of what happened
yeah, I mean,
with Canley and
yeah, second place wasn't too far behind at only two strokes behind them. Burns and Herschel was second place, and then third place was 5 strokes out of the lead. Redmond and Ryder. Then there was a tie for fourth between 5 different teams that were all 6 strokes out. So, it, like I said, with them just kind of pulling away, I tried to tune in, after day one, and like day one was interesting because anyone had a shot. Day two, I turned in, and they just kind of, was playing the best, out of any of the teams. So it was just kind of like by Friday afternoon, before they even started on Saturday, I'm like, yep, they basically won it. This is over already.
yeah. My pick was Max Homa and Taylor Gooch. Can you see if they even placed in like the top 20? I want to say they did, but they were struggling kind of day three.
Let's see.
And then it was also cool to see there was a father son in there that played pretty well. That was kind of a big storyline of that event. So that was cool to see.
Who'd you say it was again?
Max Homa and Max Homa.
Max Homa and Gooch.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, right there. They tied for 21st.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think they made it in the top 20, but
No, they were just outside. There was a big group to here tied at 21st.
yeah, nothing too crazy with that tournament.
Yeah, I think I took Morkawi and Hovland and to be top 20, and they were 29th. And
Yeah, they were kind of the biggest disappointment in my opinion.
yeah, I my winner was Palmer and Scheffler, which they tied for 18th. So, Scotty's been one of the hottest golfers around, so I was hoping he could kind of carry this Palmer guy, which is Palmer, a guy always gets teamed up with the number one, has won the tournament like the last 3 years. So I was kind of banking on that little strategy, but that didn't pay out.
No.
So now we got this week is the Mexican Open. I don't even know how to say it. I don't even want to try. It's 2 V words. Here's where they're playing at. I know the purse is set at 7.3 million. But like we were just running through the list before we got on here. And again, not a ton of guys are like big name guys are playing in this. Like doing my picks even, and I go to a few different websites it's to read, but everyone's like kind of just basically throwing darts at the wall. So that's kind of I don't even think I followed all of them. I kind of took my own for this week. About the only one I did is my winner, just because I don't feel comfortable anyone. I mean, you said you're taking Rom.
Yeah. I mean, if for betting purposes, there's really not. I think there's not a point to even try him. I would rather gamble a few dollars here and there on some of the other people just because the odds are so crazy different for the winner.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there's only like I think there's only like 3 or 4 top 20 guys who play. Maybe even like 2.
Yeah.
I think maybe even 1. I think John might be the only top 20 guy.
Yeah. That very well could be because, he's at like plus 350, and then the next closest are 3 guys, this Cameron Triangle, Gary Wood, and Kevin Na. They're all plus 2,000. So, I'm taking Gary Woodland, and last time he played all right. I think I want to say he was just outside the top 20 last time he played, and I can't remember what tournament it was now. I was looking earlier. But there was I think it was a smaller tournament. I think there was like probably 10 or 15 in, top 20 players. There's like 10 top 10, 20 players, that was in it. So to be close to the top 20, I figure that's pretty good. So I'm hoping with no names, he has another good round. And
yeah. So. Fun fact, kind of a fun fact.
Fun fact time.
So it's about John Ron because he's kind of the only one playing. I kind of just found this out today is he actually plays weaker lofted iron than pretty much everybody else, which is kind of crazy because all these tour players are already playing with the tour irons, which are like the blades basically. They're super hard to hit. They're super weak lofted, and it just makes it they're so consistent. It just makes it more controllable, and he actually weakens his loft because he has such a bowed wrist, which basically means he shuts the face down and impact, and his dynamic loft is pretty much changing his club like a 7-iron to a 5-iron club. So he actually plays with weaker loft. Same with Dustin Johnson. Him and Dustin Johnson are kind of both the same, but I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is. So do you have any top 10s or anything like that you're taking this week?
Yeah, so I have 2 top 20s, and I'm kind of just going basic this week, just because, like you said, there's not really many names I know. And a couple that I do know that's been playing okay that should get in the top 20 here is Cameron Champ and Brendan Todd, and both of their odds are probably, I can look, they're probably like minus odds.
Yeah.
They're plus 225, plus 240 for top 20, but those both are 2 young guys who've been playing well that can definitely squeeze in the top 20 with those plus of odds. You might as well take it. Those are kind of two that I'm looking at for top 20.
Yeah. So one that I'm looking at for a top 10 is, I believe he is local to the course, Sebastian Munoz, I think is how you say his last name, plus 300 for a top 10. And my only other top 10 is Charles Howell III. He was one that's popping up a few times, so I'm like, all right, if a couple different people are taking him for top 10, then, worth a shot. So I took him there. That's plus 500 for him. And then my top 20, I only got 3 guys I'm taking for top 20. Thigala, Lahar, and Brian I don't even know how. Sturd, maybe? Stuard. So these are plus 300, and Brian is plus 400 for top 20. So.
Yeah. One thing kind of quick is I remember our very first golf talk we did. I was like, Thigala is a young gun. He got the sponsored invite, and he played super well at the tournament before our first podcast. And I was like, he could be the guy this year that kind of comes out of nowhere and plays. And he's literally played well in like one tournament. That's it. So he's kind of been a letdown. But I kind of do like your pick with him. I think you said he's a top 20. You have him?
Yeah.
For a top 20. So I do like him for top 20. I may throw him in mine as well.
Yeah.
Top 10 for me, I kind of went a little bit down the list just because, like I said, this tournament is just throwing darts, kind of guessing. But I'm going with both at plus 500 for top 10. Kevin Streelman and CT Pan. I think CT Pan has been playing actually pretty solid golf. And Kevin Streelman is kind of a more well-known name who's not that great. But both of these guys I could see squeezing into the top 10. And plus 500 odds are actually pretty solid. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, normally I look for higher odds than what I'm taking on these. But like I said, this week is just... This is like throwing darts at the wall this week, so I kind of took a little bit smaller. Then maybe hopefully it'll be a little bit safer when they pan out. but definitely be watching, see how they're doing. Basically, I watch the first day or two. I try to watch them, watch how they're doing, and then if they're not even having a shot, I just basically turn it off.
Yeah, but I mean, you can go over your top fives. I got mine's kind of a weird scenario, but
Well,
I don't know
actually,
if you have any top fives.
nope, I didn't take anyone top 5.
Okay, so I'm like taking 2 top fives, but I'm also gonna throw like I also have both of them as my 2 winners. 2 top 5, 2 winners are the same guys. I'm going with Aaron Wise. He's plus 650 for a top 5 and plus 3,000 for winner. He's kind of a younger guy. He's been playing pretty solid this year, and I mean he's predicted top 10, so I think he could get the job done. And then obviously John Rahm plus 190 for a top or plus 100 for a top 5, and plus 350 for a winner. I mean I just don't see how he doesn't win. And I mean he's number 2 player still in the world right now, so he's kind of been struggling, but this is kind of his event to win, and I think he'll get it done.
Yeah, I could see that. I hope, like, Rahm has to have a bounce back, I feel like, at some point. Like, I just don't. He can't go from the number 1 golfer and just fall off, you know. He's got to have a bounce back at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a perfect tournament where he gets to prove that he is the clear top 5 guy that could easily win this event by 3 or 4 strokes. And I think he kind of needs it going into the PGA Championship here in a few weeks. So just really look for him to come out strong. I mean, a couple prop bets that you can probably look for is, I mean, I don't really know. See if I can find any. Normally there's like what the winning margin is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like for 4 strokes or more, it's plus 350. And like I easily see it being a 4-stroke, 2 to 4 strokes victory for Rahm. Normally they have, I can't see it. Normally they have like what the total score will be, and normally it's around like, oh, will it be over under 13 or 14 under?
Yeah.
I don't see that. But
No, and being a smaller tournament, they may not do all the prop bets.
Yeah, if you could find that one though, I'd go with over the amount. I think John Rahm's gonna win it with like 18 under, something crazy.
I mean, for your sake, I hope so. But for my sake, I hope this Gary Woodland does it.
Yeah, like you said at the beginning, we've been wrong quite a bit, and these smaller tournaments are a lot harder to be right on than wrong. So
yeah. Well, I think that's all. I'll probably do like a little social media post of our picks, just listing them, and then we'll get this up tonight so that way people can listen to it, and we'll start doing these call in on Wednesdays and do our golf picks.
yeah,
So,
cool.
All right. Well, peace out.